Friends, the storm of Vaibhav has arrived in the final. He has created history by smashing 350 runs. Yes, friends, Vaibhav's storm arrived in the final match of the Tri-Nation A series against Sri Lanka A. He slammed his first 300 in an ODI, breaking even Rohit's record. Yes, friends, today the final match of the Tri-Nation A series between India A and Sri Lanka A was played at the Dambulla Cricket Stadium. What happened in this match shook the entire cricket world. Vaibhav Suryavanshi rained boundaries across the field in such a way that fans could not believe their eyes. On one side, the batsmen were brutally thrashing the bowlers, while on the other side, the match witnessed such excitement that it kept everyone's heart racing until the final over. Yes, to know the complete story, make sure to watch the video until the end, and if you too are a fan of Vaibhav Suryavanshi, then definitely write Storm of Suryavanshi in the comments, and don't forget to like the video at all. Friends, today the final match of the Tri-Nation A series is being played between Sri Lanka A and India A at the Dambulla Cricket Stadium. In this match, Team India's captain Tilak Varma won the toss and decided to bat first. From India A, Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Prabh Simran Singh came out to open. Meanwhile, Garuka Sanket brought the new ball for Sri Lanka A. On the first ball of the first over, Prabh Simran Singh took a single to give the strike to Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and then began a storm of boundaries that shook the entire Dambulla Stadium. On the very second ball, Vaibhav smashed a spectacular boundary over cover. On the next ball, using excellent footwork, he sent the ball straight over the sight screen for a maximum. His intentions were crystal clear. Today, he had not just come to bat, but he had come to write history. Prabh Simran Singh was not lagging behind at the other end either. In Mohammad Shiraz's over, he smashed 2 consecutive boundaries. Both batsmen added 70 runs in the first 5 overs alone. Sri Lanka A's captain Sahan Arachage was constantly changing bowlers, but every single strategy of his was failing against Vaibhav and Prabh Simran. In the 6th over, Vanuja Sahan came to bowl, and from here, the furious form of Vaibhav Suryavanshi was witnessed. A boundary on the first ball, a sky-high maximum on the second, another boundary on the third, and one more long maximum on the 5th ball. The entire stadium was chanting just one name: Vaibhav, Vaibhav, Vaibhav. By the end of the power play, India A had scored 105 runs without losing any wicket. Vaibhav was playing on 55 runs, while Prabh Simran was on 45 runs. Even after this, Vaibhav did not stop. He tore apart the spin bowling of Vijayakant Vyaskanth, sometimes playing a sweep by dropping to his knees, sometimes a spectacular shot over long on, and sometimes over extra cover. In no time, he completed his half-century. On the other side, Prabh Simran Singh also batted brilliantly to complete his half-century. A 150-run partnership had been established between the two batsmen for the first wicket. In the 14th over, Vaibhav hit consecutive boundaries and maximums to take his score to 90 runs. The entire ground was waiting for his century. Then came that historic moment. On the 4th ball of the 15th over, Vaibhav Suryavanshi smashed a spectacular maximum over long on and completed his explosive century in just 60 balls. The entire Dambulla Stadium stood up. Captain Tilak Varma and Rituraj Gaikwad, sitting in the dressing room, were also seen clapping. But Vaibhav's bat did not quiet even after completing his century. He smashed 3 maximums and 2 boundaries in a single over of Garuka Sanket. The ball was either flying into the mid-wicket stands or crossing the long-off boundary line. Despair was clearly visible on the faces of the Sri Lankan bowlers. On the other side, Prabh Simran Singh was also batting brilliantly and had reached close to his century. A 120-run partnership had been established between the two batsmen for the first wicket. Finally, Sri Lanka A got their first breakthrough. In an attempt to play a big shot, Prabh Simran Singh ended up lofting the ball in the air. Rituraj Gaikwad, standing at mid-wicket, caught an easy catch. Simran Singh returned to the pavilion after scoring 93 runs, which included 11 boundaries and 4 maximums. After this, Ruturaj Gaikwad came to the crease. He started giving the strike to Vaibhav, and then what happened wrote a new chapter in the history pages of cricket. Vaibhav Suryavanshi was now batting in a completely different world. He smashed 4 consecutive boundaries on 4 balls from Mohammad Shiraz. When Vijayakant Vyaskanth brought the next over, he hit 2 long maximums on the first 2 balls. The spectators thought perhaps he would score a double century, but Vaibhav's eyes were set way beyond that. By the 35th over, he had reached 175 runs. After this, he shifted gears. In the next 5 overs, he rained nothing but boundaries and maximums. Sometimes a reverse sweep, sometimes a pull shot, sometimes a straight drive, and sometimes a helicopter shot. The Sri Lankan fielders were doing nothing but fetching the ball back. In the 40th over, he completed his double century. As soon as the ball went past the cover boundary, the entire stadium stood up. All the players sitting in the dressing room started clapping, but Vaibhav's intentions were still not fulfilled. He took off his helmet, looked up at the sky just once, and then got right back to batting. Now the Sri Lanka A bowlers were completely broken. In the 42nd over, Vaibhav smashed 3 consecutive maximums. In the 44th over, 2 boundaries and 2 maximums. In the 45th over, he smashed a maximum on the first ball of Garuka Sanket, a boundary on the second, another maximum on the third, and a boundary on the 4th ball. Now the entire stadium was asking just one question: will we see a triple century today? By the 48th over, Vaibhav had reached 390 runs. Ruturaj Gaikwad was constantly giving him the strike. The spectators would stand up on every ball, and the noise kept increasing with every shot. On the first ball of the 49th over, Vaibhav hit a spectacular boundary. He took 2 runs on the second ball. On the third ball, he hit a sky-scraping maximum over long on, and then came that historic moment. On the next ball, Vaibhav hit a boundary toward point to complete his triple century. The entire Dambulla Stadium echoed with a thunderous roar of applause. Captain Tilak Varma jumped with joy. Ruturaj Gaikwad ran to Vaibhav and hugged him. But Vaibhav still did not stop. In the final over, he hit a boundary on the first ball, a maximum on the second, a boundary on the third, and took 2 runs on the 4th ball to take his score to 350 runs. The entire ground stood up to salute this young batsman. Vaibhav Suryavanshi played an unbelievable unbeaten inning of 350 runs in just 145 balls. His historic inning included 31 boundaries and 23 sky-high maximums. Ruturaj Gaikwad scored a brilliant 68 runs, while Captain Tilak Varma played a blistering unbeaten knock of 69 runs. Simran Singh had given India a solid start by playing an excellent inning of 93 runs. At conclusion of the scheduled 50 overs, India A set a mountain-like score of 585 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. But today belonged entirely to Vaibhav. On the Dambulla ground, this young batsman did not just score runs, but brought a storm of boundaries and maximums that stunned the world of cricket. This inning of 350 runs was not just a record, but an announcement of how bright the future of Indian cricket is. Chasing a massive target of 586 runs, the Sri Lanka A team started in a highly aggressive manner. Naroshan Dickwella and Avishka Fernando came out as the opening batsmen for the team. Yash Thakur brought the new ball for India. On the first ball of the first over, Avishka Fernando played a brilliant cover drive to hit a boundary. On the other side, Naroshan Dickwella also looked in mood to play big shots. Both batsmen added 40 runs in the first 3 overs alone. It looked as if Sri Lanka A was not ready to give up at all. But in the 4th over, India got their first breakthrough. Trying to play a big shot against a fast delivery from Yash Thakur, Avishka Fernando ended up lofting the ball in the air. Ruturaj Gaikwad, standing at mid-wicket, caught an easy catch. Avishka Fernando returned to the pavilion after scoring 22 runs. Now, Nwanidu Fernando came to the crease. As soon as he arrived, he played some brilliant shots and tried to stabilize the innings along with Naroshan Dickwella. Dickwella was also hitting boundaries consistently. He smashed 2 boundaries and a maximum in a single over of Vibhraj Nigam. By the end of the power play, Sri Lanka A had scored 78 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. Naroshan Dickwella was playing on 44 runs, while Nwanidu Fernando was supporting him with 29 runs. However, in the 7th over, Captain Tilak Varma handed the ball to Arshad Khan, and he worked magic as soon as he came. Nwanidu could not comprehend his sharp in-swinging delivery at all, and the ball crashed straight into the stumps. Nwanidu Fernando was out after scoring 32 runs. Now all of Sri Lanka's hopes rested on Naroshan Dickwella and Sadira Samarawickrama. Both batsmen scored runs quickly and